Hey Hugs, just a reminder before you get into the show that we have merchandise, yes, and you can find it on our Ugly Truth website. There's a little tab, you can click on it, and then you can peruse to see all of our styles. You can grab a mug or a sticker. We have hoodies and t-shirts, pretty much anything you would want to show your pride for being an Ugly Truth listener. Thank you so much for supporting us. Enjoy the show.
Going on with this thing? I can't even with it.
So is that footage lost?
No,
I mean,
it's
you can
not.
Save it. And
I can save it, but I don't.
From...
It was only 6 minutes in, which means probably the show didn't get. I think we were talking for 6 minutes, so we'll have to start over. Start the show over. That's fine.
Got it.
You know what? It'll be better this way. Ready?
Yep.
I can't. Welcome to the Ugly Truth. This is episode 555.
I'll be on monitor control.
Thank you. Can you please?
Well, I was listening. Yeah.
I know. I didn't I thought we were fine. Okay. You know what? Happy fucking New Year.
Right.
Jesus Christ. You know what?
It should be.
As I told you, the goal is to get new equipment and a whole new studio setup and all that stuff. And when we talk about our vacation, you'll know why we don't have any of that yet. So we're still here in this, doing this. But we were talking about getting new equipment yesterday. I said, just buy it. Let's just do this. Let's go.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I'm done. Right.
Right.
And so anyway, so Happy New Year, everybody. Oh, did we do the already?
We did.
Okay. Jesus, I don't know what's going on. Well, like I was telling you before, I got the third shot yesterday, and I'm walking around feeling like I've been sick for a week, but I'm not. I'm fine. And today, as the day progresses, I'm sure I'll get better. Daryl's pale.
He did look pale.
He's pale. He rescheduled.
And he wasn't working. I mean, normally when I come over, he's diehard in there, earphones on.
This is how I knew that we weren't doing well. Yesterday, I told you I took a nap, which I never do. Right. I got up. I had a glass of wine, which is fine, because I'm like, it's the holidays.
Well, I mean, sometimes it makes you feel a little better if you're under the weather.
Yeah, and so I had a glass of wine, I had a little food, and I did some carby food, and I just played my little game, and I'm like, okay, maybe...
Just chilling.
Just chill. Daryl watched a ton of movies and crap, and so it was probably like 10 o'clock at night, and we decided to clean his office, because it smelled like cat pee in there. And we're like, where is it? We couldn't find it. We ended up literally taking apart the entire office. We pulled the rug out. We sanitized the entire floor.
Who is the culprit? Baxter?
We think it's Baxter, yeah.
Oh,
so we pulled everything out, cleaned everything out, and then I walked in this morning, no pee smell. So I'm like, okay, so we clearly it was probably the
whatever it was, yeah.
But I'm like, we stopped that at like 11 o'clock in the middle. I'm like, what are we doing? Like, why are we doing? We're like feverishly working, and I'm like, I don't know what we're doing. We're obviously
because you laid around all day and you didn't burn any energy, and now you're feeling better.
Well, so we thought, but we didn't. We went to bed at like midnight, and then he woke up. He's like, I don't feel good. He had chills and a fever. I got up. I had coffee downstairs. Dealt with all the things he deals with, and then
the dogs.
The dog, and they're so goddamn needy. I can't with these dogs.
Well, you have 3.
Well, Sonny is so low key. Like he just wants to sleep all the time because he's old. That's what old dogs do.
It's just been frigid outside.
Yeah, so I'll leave him out for like an hour and then bring him in. He's like, it's shivering, and I'm like, okay. I mean, it
was like 30 something last night.
It was 38.
It was freezing.
Yeah, for the valley, that's very cold. Anyway, how was your Christmas?
It was so good. It was good. Yeah, I mean,
Did you get any presents this year?
I did not. But that's nothing new. And
it's funny how everybody's traditions are different,
Well, Jerry was, so Jeff assumed that all of the presents under the tree were for him.
All, of course.
So he was ripping them open with wild abandon, and then he ripped them open, and he's like, these slippers are too big for me. I'm like, that's because they're not for you, son. And he's like, it says dad on here. I'm like, duh. I'm like, I told you to read the little label. And Jerry looked at me like, what?
You got me slippers?
Yeah. And then then it was the look of humiliation. Like, well, I didn't get you shit. I'm like, I already know. And I don't care. So fine.
Honestly, it should be one of those things that I've seen a million TikToks of this where moms buy their own presents.
I did buy my own present.
What'd you get?
I bought the new Patty Yinich recipe book.
Oh,
it's a brand new. It's a New York Times bestseller.
Oh, you about her.
I've been wanting it, and this was like she only has this is her third book, so she's not like a big book. You know, some of these celebrity chefs have like 25. Yeah, like Pioneer Woman.
I'm like, come on, how many steak recipes are there? Like, how many egg recipes are there?
Well, they're cash cows. They make tons of money, and so she does not do that. So this was her biggest. So this publisher really invested a lot of time and money into this book, and it's already on the New York Times bestseller list.
Well, her PBS show is the bomb.
Love it.
You know what? The PBS cooking shows are literally the best. The Food Network is a joke compared.
They are.
It's ridiculous.
I don't even watch. Very rarely.
There aren't any. They're all freaking game shows.
I know. I hate it.
Last night, no joke, I watched. I can't believe I watched
the baking cookie cook-off.
No,
whatever.
I watched the tiny.
Guys, grocery game.
It was like a tiny food challenge. And I'm like, what's a tiny food challenge? They have grown-ass adults with teeny tiny kitchens, like for a doll.
I think I saw the commercial for that.
The utensils.
They're like the size of a thumbnail.
They're so little, and you have to use all of it and create teeny tiny meals.
Stupid.
And I'm like, did they pull this from Japan? Because this is very Japanese.
Right.
In fact, the very first episode, the Japanese guy.
I'd like to know who runs that network.
The Japanese guy goes, "Oh, I've been doing this for my whole life," and he fucking blew him out of the water. I'm like, yeah, because this is a thing in Japan,
and not here. Yeah, no.
So I'm like,
I'm so
okay.
Not into it.
In fact, on the part that I saw, one of them started an actual oil fire in the dollhouse stove. I'm like, how do you do that? These teeny tiny knives. She's like, well, I just take a tortilla and I cut teeny tiny, because she was making nachos. And I'm like, I can't even with this.
But you watched it.
You know what? I would pick all that stuff up and throw it across the kitchen. I could not. I couldn't.
Yeah. So the teeny tiny little cooking show, I'm kind of liking it.
It was so stupid.
Like that.
It was so stupid. But the PBS ones are way better.
Right.
So speaking of Food Network, Valerie Bertinelli is quickly become a staple.
She is the darling of Food Network now.
And I actually
love her.
I love Valerie Bertinelli.
It's one of the few shows that I do watch on Food Network.
She does a lot of those game shows too with the kids.
I don't watch any of those.
I can't. But she always put up with Duff.
They do.
I'm like, why?
Because they're friends in real life.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
But you know what? Honestly, I don't blame her for what she's doing. She hasn't had a huge career since One Day at a Time. I mean, she's done some stuff.
No, she has, actually.
She did Hot in Cleveland. And
that was her last big one, but I mean, she's done some
sitcoms.
I don't think she even needs to work really.
I don't think she does either.
She's getting a divorce. She's divorcing Tom?
She is.
What?
Uh-huh. That was huge.
Spill the tea. When?
Like, within the last 60 to 90 days. It's not getting any media, which is really surprising. I guess that's the way she wants to play it.
You know why? Because they love her. They respect her.
Right.
They're not going down that road.
So I don't know why they're getting a divorce, but I was shocked. Well, I find the timing kind of odd because Eddie Van Halen's just barely been dead for a year.
That's what I was going to say. Is it about Eddie?
I think it possibly could be.
He
did have a wife, but they were like soulmates. I think they realized that their marriage wasn't working.
Yeah.
But they never not loved each other. Yeah, I mean, not only that, but I mean, his lifestyle, she hated the fact that he smoked and that he would not quit.
Yeah.
Even though it was giving him cancer.
Oh, I know.
She hated that. She said that, she's like, I cannot watch you kill yourself.
And he did.
And he wouldn't quit. So I think that was a huge strain on their marriage. And she admitted that they both had cheated, including her.
Oh, I mean,
she had an affair, like not just an overnighter. She had carried on in a relationship, and so did he.
That's sad. Well,
and that just ruined it.
That's when you know that things
and
they
could never recover.
It's true. Okay, so anyway, I don't know what's going on with our sound, Daryl, but just deal with it. It's literally not modulating whatsoever.
So what does that mean? It's going to be like
literally
loud?
Look at it's literally. And usually it goes up and down, and it's not, and I don't know why.
So are we going to be like all one?
Yeah, see, volume? It's not. I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll find out.
I guess we will. I'm sorry.
If we have to reshoot it, we can do it on Friday.
Okay. Well, let's hope.
I'm just saying, if you listen to it and it's like it's trash, like we can't use it.
Yeah, I think it'll be all right. It's just going to be some adjustments.
I'm off on Friday.
What the fuck is going on with my computer? I hate it. Anyway. Back to Valerie Bertinelli.
Yeah, so she's getting a divorce, and
the reason I brought it up was now I'm on TikTok quite a bit.
Yes.
I love TikTok. So she just created a TikTok account.
Yeah,
and her very first video is of her no makeup. She was outside. It was raining because I believe she was in LA, I assume.
Yep.
And she was like, I'm just out here. And she's like, and I'm just really feeling bad about myself. And she's like, my body isn't where I want it to be.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this?
This is her second or third.
I know. Well, because the second one.
Not on TikTok, but she posted one on Instagram.
She had posted, it might be the same one.
No, because this was a few months ago.
Yeah, well, but
it was before they announced her divorce.
The one a few months ago, she was getting a lot of hate, I guess, in the comments of something saying that
a lady was calling her fat.
Right. And
we
so
were outraged as fans.
Well, I mean, what has she done to anyone?
Nothing. And I mean, her reaction to it was heartbreaking.
Because that's how a normal person
That is how and we've all felt that way. If you've ever struggled with your weight, even if you haven't struggled with your weight or body image.
So this most recent one, she was trying not to cry. She's saying, I'm just not really proud of myself, and I've just really let myself go. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, who did this to you?
Yeah.
But, this is a woman who had such bad body issues that she went and did Weight Watchers.
Yes.
And lost like 50 pounds.
And she looked great.
Did the bikini thing.
Yes.
And then, of course, just like with most diet culture, it comes back.
It does. It does.
Diet culture is the most toxic thing outside of some men.
I agree.
That exists for women.
Absolutely.
It is horrific. And so she is clearly not, because she's my age. And if you don't change your mentality about your body or that diet culture is bad for you or bad for anyone anyway, then you're going to constantly be
disappointing,
punishing yourself because you had a piece of bread yesterday, which is what I do, by the way. And, to have someone tell you to your face, your body does not define how great you are. It doesn't matter what size your clothes are. It doesn't matter how big your ass is or whatever. You're still valuable and people fucking love you.
Right.
Stop it. But your brain, if you have been fat shamed your whole life, you do not think that way.
And she has, because she's in Hollywood. I mean, and she's
never been tiny.
Never.
Even when she was a little girl.
That's her body type. And she's gorgeous. Oh my God. She's like one of the most beautiful women ever.
She's like the original Kim K.
God, she's gorgeous. And so, but I get it. Yeah. So, and what I love about her is her being vulnerable and honest is that, look, I have fame, I have success, I have money. I have the best beauty people to do my face and my hair.
And
I still hate my body.
I hate
myself.
I hate it because you know what? I have watched her shows and seen the days where she does not feel good.
I can tell too.
You can?
Absolutely.
I can too. And I'm just like, why is she wearing that tent?
And she's been really honest about her struggles with I don't even want to say addiction. Her struggles with substance abuse. I think there's a little bit of a difference in my mind.
Yeah.
I think sometimes you lean on substances when you're going through something in your life.
Yeah. People self-medicate.
Right? So she's been very open about that too. Yeah. So I can tell when she has been drinking too heavily.
Oh, she's a little puffy.
She just she has that look. Yeah, we've all done it. We've all looked that way.
Yes.
So it's like, but it always, for me, I'm like, there's something going on in her world.
Yeah.
Like, I don't necessarily judge her, be like, ugh, God, ew.
No, but she's very, you read everything that's going on with her on her face. You can see when she's struggling, when she's not.
And the way she loves her son, that's how and so she's so relatable to me in that way because the way that she loves Wolfie.
Wolfie loves it when I do this or whatever.
He loves his mother.
First of all, Wolfie is a very talented musician.
So
he riffs with all of the people.
He's totally taking off.
And his album came out last year. It's amazing. It's really good.
He's on tour with like Guns N' Roses. And
they all really respect him in his own right.
He's genuinely talented in his own right. He is not just trying to mimic his father.
Genetically, he's just got it.
He has got it. He's an artist.
Yes. Okay, so Valerie, we're all behind you, Valerie Bertinelli. I know you're not hearing this, but I'm just saying, I'm putting it out there in the ether. You never know. Someone get this to her immediately.
Osmosis.
And I know she genuinely appreciates the support. That's the thing. It's like she's not fishing.
No.
She's just putting it out there going, I feel like shit today. And
you know what, though? It's becoming her shtick, and I'm okay with that.
I thought that too.
It is a little, but I really am. I'm not mad about it.
But so what I need now is for her to go, okay, now.
But now that you know she's getting a divorce, does that change it a little bit for you?
Yes.
Because getting divorced is not an overnight thing. You're just gonna bounce back from.
And they were married for as long as Daryl.
12 or 13. No.
Like 20 years.
He was married when Eddie died. He had been married for 12 years, and she married Tom 2 years before he got married.
Oh,
so I mean, 15 years probably, and that's a long time.
That's a very long.
That's a long time.
No kids, no nothing. So
no.
I mean, there's that.
They had a
time.
thing. They had a lot of chemistry, and I know that she truly loved him. I'm dying to know why they're getting divorced.
Honestly, when he would come on her show, I'd be like, really?
Well, I mean,
I don't know. But she did love him. I mean, she probably still does. Who knows?
Who knows? I hope he didn't cheat or something like that. I would want him dead then.
You know what?
How could you?
It's Valerie Bertinelli.
Right? Would give their last nut to be with Valerie.
I know. Okay, so our Christmas was good too. So this year we decided to do thrifting gifts. So everybody had to go to the thrift store and buy a gift for everybody. And it could be irreverent or it could be serious, but no clothing.
So do you do one? Did everybody buy one for everyone?
Everybody bought something for everybody.
Oh, okay.
But we said no clothes because clothes are a lay down and nobody wants clothes.
No,
gross. No, unless it's something unusual like a wool coat that you can't find anywhere.
Or a pink lady's jacket.
Something really fabulous.
Like, you're like, oh my God, I had to get this vintage.
So I went irreverent because I'm not going to go searching for cute love things. I want to be hilarious. So I found some hilarious gifts. Daryl got me a Jeff Kent bobblehead because I used to love Jeff Kent as the Giants. And
that's cute.
Yeah, it's horrible, but hilarious.
Funny.
So he initially said, well, I already got your thrift gift. I go, you went to the Goodwill? And he goes, yeah. And I go, what did you do? Did you shop online? He goes, well, yeah, I bought it online. It's used though. And I go, okay, but did you go to a thrift store?
You have to go to a thrift store. That is the challenge.
Well, it's not a thrift store per se. I go, well, then it's cheating. You can't buy me something vintage and call it a thrift gift.
Right? Yeah, you don't go on eBay and buy something used.
That's why I said
you
can't go on eBay. And so apparently, that's why he bought me the Jeff Kent thing because he found it. But if you turn around and you see that black bag behind you,
yes,
that was my thrift gift.
What's in it?
It is a it's not YSL. It is dude. It's a what's the fucking?
DKNY?
No.
Saint Laurent?
Why can't I think of the fucking name?
Dior.
It's not Dior. It's the one that has all the
Givenchy? Chanel.
Hold on, it's not Chanel. It's Louis Vuitton.
Louis.
It's a black Louis Vuitton weekend bag. I'm like, did you get this at the Goodwill? He goes, well, no. And I go, no, you didn't. And I go, and I'm sure it wasn't $2.
Why was that? Did you have a
no, we didn't. But I mean, the whole point was to go to the fucking thrift store. I'm like, you went to the real.
Why can't you follow the rules?
Because he just hates the Goodwill so much.
So that's the point. Why you have to go.
So I made him go with me anyway. Yeah, and I bought Kenzie a big stuffed red parrot. She hates birds more than anyone I know.
Really?
Yes. Hates them. She opened it up. She goes, really, Mama Parrot? It's like 2 feet tall. And I'm like, yeah. Merry Christmas. Shit like that. And then I bought Malia this doll, this girl made out of seashells. I'll show it to you when you leave. It is absolutely terrifying.
Like one of the things you would find in your grandmother's bathroom?
Yes. And so she's like, what am I supposed to? She goes, this is terrifying. Horrifying. I'm like, yeah, don't you love it? She's like, I don't know what to say. I go, I paid $2 for that, Malia. So now she's hidden it, and it's in our shelf now. And I turned and I looked at it and I said, that thing is not staying there. We're moving it. And she's like, well, it's not going in my room. I'm like, oh, it absolutely is going in your room.
It's going to be like Elf on a Shelf, but it's going to be Show Lady.
Yes.
So places for it to rear its ugly head. She'll open her drawer and it'll be like, oh!
That's exactly it. Basically,
oh my God!
It looks like Little Bo Peep from Toy Story made out of shells. So then that's Christmas. So Christmas morning, or the 26th, the Sunday, we now have to pick up a U-Haul and move Mackenzie from Sacramento to Napa.
Right.
In one day, because, we all have a U-Haul for one day. Luckily, she doesn't have that much stuff, but we had to go to her where she's currently living, pack all her shit up. And Kenzie is like a lot of people. She doesn't like change.
Yeah.
And she's really stressed out.
Right.
And so we get everything all packed up. And I said, okay, say bye, house. And so we walk out because I don't know. I've always done that. Whenever I leave an apartment when I was younger, I'd be like, all right, bye, house. And
we don't say bye, but I do like stand there for a minute and like look around.
Yeah, you just go, okay.
It's kind of like when you check out at a hotel. I feel like there's something I'm leaving. Like, did I get everything?
Yeah. I just am like, it's almost like a cleansing of the past. She's like, bye, house. So we walk out and she's like, she's like, I go, honey, you're right. She goes, I'm just really overwhelmed. I'm like, it's going to be fine. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
And you're not moving. You're moving to a beautiful city.
Right.
It's going to be amazing.
Many people would kill.
And the apartment is stunning.
Yeah.
I'm like, it was such a great find,
Yeah.
So we drive, we get there, move all of her shit in. I take her to Target, buy her Swiffer and all of her things.
Yes.
So we're getting ready to leave. And I said, all right. I think we need to go. Because I'm like, it's time to go. I mean, we've been doing this since 7 a.m. or whatever. I'm like, we need to get out of here before the storm hits or whatever. And she's like, all right. And then she starts crying again. I go, I promise you I'll be back.
We're not leaving you forever, darling.
No, it'll be fine. And she's like, I know. I'm just, it's like, it's happening. I'm like, your life is happening. Yeah. It's amazing. You're going to love it. And so, of course.
But it's just change.
She called me yesterday. She's like, I just called because I missed your voice. But also, what is the Disney password? I'm like, oh. So anyway.
It takes a minute to get all that stuff reestablished. And
it's weird because when Tyler moved away, it was like a 5 or 6 hour drive. And it's not an easy drive to Humboldt.
Oh my God, it's the worst.
And so I wept for the whole way home, and I was depressed for like 2 weeks. Aww. And then he showed up. He goes, how come you didn't call me? I'm like, I'm letting you live your life, Tyler. And he's like, well, so he drove all the way home, just to see people. Sweet. So Kenzie, I have a feeling she's going to just show up at my doorstep before school.
Fine.
Yeah, totally. But I don't feel as devastated this time because it's only an hour away.
Right.
And it's a fucking Napa.
Right.
Like, how bad can it be?
We don't even need an excuse to go there ever.
No, I didn't need a reason. So she's like, Mom, I forgot my champagne that you gifted me on Christmas. I'm like, what's really great? You could literally get in your car and in 10 minutes be at like 4 world-class champagne places and buy a bottle.
Right.
I mean, literally, I'm jealous. Stop.
She'll figure it out.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be amazing.
She'll figure it out. It'll feel like home in no time. She'll be showing you around by the time you get there.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm so happy for her. I just,
It's amazing. I am so proud of her. Yeah. I'm so happy. I know it's a lot of change. I know it's difficult, but she's got it.
But I mean, it's just like one more down, Now we have one left and that's it. It's crazy. So crazy. So anyway, you have some time though before your second one goes anywhere.
My son just turned 10.
I know.
So I have a minute.
You have another 10 years at least.
At least, yeah.
Unless he becomes brilliant and runs to college at 18. You never know.
Well, I mean, it kind of would be my goal, but we'll see. I mean, I think that it's important to start it when you have no responsibilities.
Yeah.
Because the longer you wait, the more responsibilities you get, and then the harder it is.
100%.
And so I tried to tell my daughter this. She doesn't listen. But she's amazing too, so I have nothing to say. Well, we did prime rib for Christmas.
Oh, yum.
Which I do. That's my tradition.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
How was it? Turn out good?
It's so good. Yeah. Good. It's never not good. I mean, it's freaking prime rib.
Honestly, did you like the cake?
Yes.
Are you sure? Because it's pretty it's orange.
Orange?
It's citrusy. Like, it's got a citrus.
Well, you don't like citrus, but I do.
No, I do like citrus. And I love the taste of the cake I got you because it's like a petite four or petit four.
Yeah, yeah.
I loved it, but it's also not something that not you personally, but if you're not into that upper, it's not just vanilla or chocolate.
It's for a really refined palate.
I think so too.
I do too, and that's the only thing is because I'm the only one who will eat it. It's rich,
exactly.
So yeah, I mean, I still have maybe a quarter left.
Oh, that's good.
But I mean, I just keep eating it, and it's I don't know. I'm sure it's on its last leg.
When you're the only one that eats it, you just eat it with a fork.
I do. I take a butter knife and I just do like a slice.
Oh God, you're nicer than me. I just eat it right out.
Well, I could, but then you know what? Ever since when we had our babies, and I learned that when you feed your baby out of the baby jar, that the enzymes eat away, and it was so disgusting to me.
I know. I thought that just the other day.
So no matter what I eat, it's like dipping a fork and then eating it, I'm like, you know what? That part's going to start to rot away.
It's going to start breaking down.
It's going to dissolve, and then I'm just not going to want to eat it at all. Like, it'll gross me out that bad.
You know what? I was just thinking about that the other day. What was I eating? I ate something, and I went, I can't put this back in there because of the enzymes will start breaking it down.
I did it with cottage cheese the other day, and I was like, you fool. I'm like... you have to either eat the whole tub if you're going to eat it out of the tub.
Or put it in a bowl.
Which I'm too lazy to do. So I ruined a whole thing of cottage cheese with pineapple.
We're so weird.
Within the trash.
We're just so weird. I love it.
I mean, within minutes, I was already looking at it. I'm like, see, it's getting watery already. Nope. Done. Goodbye.
Somebody's listening to this going, wait, what?
It's a good thing it's only $1.99. Goodbye.
They're like, what breaks down? Saliva? What are we talking about?
Try it.
I don't get it.
Experiment with it.
Let's not.
No, not me. You, the listeners. Try it. Just go ahead and see what happens.
Spit in it and see what happens.
You don't even have to spit in it. That's the thing. I'm like, that's how strong your saliva is.
You know what is interesting? Have you ever noticed that chefs never use the same spoon when they taste?
They have like a thing of spoons.
There's a reason.
And they take it out and
they taste and then they get rid of it because they're just like saliva.
Totally.
So funny. Okay, speaking of shows, I don't know. What are you watching besides Dexter?
Below Deck.
Oh, yes.
They're getting a little political on me as well.
Oh, lame.
Yeah, but whatever.
It's the nature of reality.
It is. And the thing with Below Deck is the cast is generally really young. They're in their early 20s, mid-20s. So it's just part of that culture.
Sure.
It's fine. I'm still enjoying it. I still love Captain Lee forever and ever and ever. And yeah, and I know we've talked about this before, but Top Chef is coming. I'm getting really excited for that.
Houston.
Yes.
I can't wait
for that to start.
Yeah, well, I always enjoy watching that show.
I do too. It's one of my mindless shows.
I just love to try to handpick who's going to win immediately, or who the dark horse is, or
I know who's going to. I usually try to pick like who's going to get eliminated immediately.
I know. Or sometimes they just give them so many chances.
They do,
and then they end up in the top 3, and you're like, you shouldn't be here
because of you and Daryl and you guys' connection to media and stuff like that. I have learned a lot about. I used to really believe like the people who got eliminated or who won were like legit deserved it. Like they were the best, but it's not, you know? And so it's like now I kind of see through that thin veil of, you know, what they want you to believe, the perception. And so now I kind of look for more personality traits and like how they interact with the rest of the cast and stuff like that. And then I can right away know like if you're too genuine and you're too raw,
you won't make it.
You're not going to make it.
No, you would have to
not showy enough.
No, and you don't have a story.
Right.
You know, you have to have a story.
They all have stories.
Yes. Or it's just like with
I came from the streets of Compton and I worked my way up. We ate gravel for 10 years.
Exactly. They're like, oh, compelling. Yes. Come with us. Right. We will make you a star. Yeah. No. Okay. So that is coming, and I'm excited about that because I'm not watching any reality TV right now. Like I told you, I'm not. But I am watching a lot of Netflix right now. So we're watching The Witcher.
I've heard about the show.
This is season 2. Okay. I was obsessed with season 1, and then season 2 hit, and Daryl's like, oh, I want to watch it with you. I'm like, oh, okay. So here's the problem with watching shows with Daryl is that I don't have a lot of time to watch TV. I never watch TV during the day. I only watch at night. Mm-hmm. And so I have a plethora of shows that I would love to watch. And if I start watching them without him, he gets really sad. It's like, he's like, well, I thought we were going to watch this together. And I'm like, okay, listen. So now that I tell him, I'm like, I'm going to give you 2 weeks. If you don't even ask about the show, I'm going.
I'm watching it.
I'm watching it because I want to watch it. I'm obsessed. And the fact that I have to wait makes me mad.
Yes.
And so we've been watching
because I'm only waiting because I don't want to hurt your feelings. Otherwise, I would have watched it by now.
100%. I would have binged it. It would have been over and done, and I could have moved on with my life.
And instead, 10 shows I have on my list.
Instead, now it's a thing. It's an event.
I can't watch anything.
Right. And so I said, so we've been watching The Witcher, and he's like, I watched all of season 1. I'm like, did you? And then he watches the recap just to make sure, because he's not sure, you know? He's like, I remember all of these scenes. And I'm like, okay, great. Let's watch it. Let's go.
And don't ask me one single question about why this is happening.
He said, he goes, oh, she lost her magic?
Season 1, episode 3.
God. But I love The Witcher. Henry Cavill, or Cavill.
I love him.
God, is he a gorgeous person.
He is so adorable.
He's so handsome. And his costuming is so badass.
I first fell in love with him when he did The Count of Monte Cristo, which no one watched. No one watched that movie, but I still loved it. I was the only one who loved that movie because he was so cute. And the guy that plays the bad guy in that movie, even though he's a tiny human, I can't think of his name.
Wait, like a midget?
No, he's not literally, but he's a smaller man. Like his stature is very small, and it's shocking that he always plays a bad guy in all his movies. We'll look it up later, and you'll be like, oh, I know him. Yeah, okay. I think he's English. But anyway, love that movie. And when I saw him in that movie, I'm like, you are hot to try.
He's so cute. And then, of course, he did Superman. Which did. Yeah. And I don't know.
Speaking of superheroes, Jerry and my son went and saw the new Spider-Man. So when we went to go buy the tickets, you buy everything online now. You can choose your seats, all of that.
Yeah.
So I could not get tickets. I was this is ridiculous. I'm like, you guys, do you guys want to go at 10 in the morning? Jerry's like, 10 in the morning? Who goes to the show at 10 in the morning? I'm like, well, if you want to go, that's like what it's coming down to.
Yeah.
So they literally had to go to the 10:25 a.m. show on Saturday just to get tickets.
That's awesome.
And they got the last 2.
Oh, man. So they had a nice full audience.
There was sequels. I'm like, what? A person is going to go like, I'll sit, bye. You're sitting over there on the other side of the theater by yourself.
First of all, I have done that. Number 1. Number 2, I saw Selena by myself at like 11 o'clock at night.
I love that.
It was like Daryl and I got this huge fight. Selena was still in the movie theaters. That's how old this was.
Yeah, that was forever ago.
Huge fight.
I think that movie was 1999. I'm pretty sure.
You might not be wrong there.
It was a long time.
So I went to the movies by myself, and I went to a movie theater super far away, so he couldn't track me down.
See your car in the driveway.
God, I was so angry. I was chalkboard angry. And so then I sat by myself with one other person, some girl sitting, and I just sat there. I didn't even get food. I just sat there, and I was seething through the whole thing. And then by the end, I'm weeping.
Because
it's Selena.
Oh, my God.
And I'm just I knew it. Because I had her album before I saw the movie.
Yeah.
And so then I'm I was beside myself. And so then I came home. I was still angry. But I still came home, and he goes, where were you? I'm like, none of your fucking business.
I don't have to tell you anything.
Where'd you go? And I'm I went to the movies.
I don't have to ask your permission.
I don't need to tell you anything ever.
I was gone. That's all you need to know.
I know. I was gone.
I'm still like that.
Because I'm an adult.
Yes.
And then finally, this will air after the show airs, but the new Netflix, the new season of Cheer is coming.
Oh, yay.
About Navarro Cheer in
love
Texas.
That.
It's coming out, and what's really
so excited.
It's a season 2. Monica is still the coach. But if you have followed all the people who were on the original Cheer team that they showcased on the documentary, many of them most of them are not on the Cheer team anymore because you age out or whatever.
Well, they're going to college.
But there were also many who came into a bit of trouble.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yes, one ended up finding out that he was a little pedophilic.
Ew.
Yeah, bad news, and all of this is going to showcase.
Okay.
Not to mention COVID happening.
Well, I hope they don't go too far overboard.
They're not going to. That's not how that goes.
I really want the show to be the fact that it was about. If you've ever been in competitive cheer or cheer, then you know what that vibe is like.
Yeah, but the thing is that it's going to come up because they've got really famous. Really
I know.
fast.
So I just don't want them to derail too far from the sport.
What I'm hoping is going to happen is they will keep getting. They're going to be working towards finals. But they're going to be hearing about all the shit that's been going on after they left the team.
Maybe.
Is the way and Monica, who stays close to all of her athletes, will be like, holy shit, really? Oh my God, And I think that will be part of it. But recruiting and getting a team together and any returning people, or I did notice that some of the those girls and guys will come back and maybe they're coaching and helping out. So it'll be, I cannot wait.
I'm excited. I had no idea that was coming back
January
out.
12th on Netflix.
And the other thing that always makes us look our age is they are coming up with the final episodes that the show will be done is Grace and Frankie.
Oh, yeah.
So they did a weird came out with the season, but then they stopped. And it was the storyline wasn't even complete.
Yeah.
So it was weird.
I think that they stopped filming and they said we have to stop here.
Yeah, but they literally they had no resolution. It was just the middle of the season.
I just don't want anyone to die.
It was weird.
I don't want anybody to die. I mean, I know they're all in their 80s and so it's possible, but can we just not?
Yeah, they don't need to. I don't see Jane Fonda doing that. I mean, that's pretty much her baby.
I'm thinking of the husbands. I don't want them to die. I don't want Saul to die.
I don't want Saul to die either.
He's so precious.
I love Saul.
I do too.
Yeah.
Dumb. So let's do our ugly and awkward moments of the week.
I do have one.
Oh my God.
It's been in my craw all week.
Okay, share.
It's so dumb.
Please share with us.
So I commute, right? So I was coming home from work. I'm sitting at the light very close to my house, getting ready to almost be home, 5 minutes. And I must have this look on my face of either exhaustion or indifference or who knows.
Yeah.
Because we're very facial people.
We are.
It's very difficult to hide our emotions.
True.
It takes a lot of work. And so I'm sitting at the light. I'm the first one. So I'm literally just waiting for the light. And I am looking at traffic in both directions because it's one of those lights where even though it's red, if you're turning, you can go, even though because it's a multi-lane turn.
Yes.
So I'm glancing to my left to see if there's traffic oncoming. And the car to my immediate left, I notice a person waving, frantically waving. And I'm like, it must be somebody I know, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Why would somebody frantically wave at you?
Yes, really trying to get my attention. Or either that or I have a flat tire and they're trying to tell me hey, your tire's flat, something like that. So I look over and it's this young man and he's got this giant smile on his face and he just waves. When I finally look over, he just does a regular wave, hi, and I look at him and I kind of crack a smile I looked around like,
hello?
like, are you me? You know, like, what, do I know you? And then I'm staring at him, like, trying to figure out if I know him.
Yeah.
And then I realized, I'm like, I don't know you. You're like 25. You're wearing a beanie and you have a beard and I don't know you. And so I kind of cracked a smile and I looked at him and I looked away and I'm laughing and I'm like, this guy's just one of those, you know, silly little young people. So I have to look again, not to look at him, but I have to look because I'm really ready to turn, you know, like I want to get off the street. So I turn over and look and he looks at me and he does this. The heart with your hands. Okay. You know, you make your shape of your hands like a heart. And he looks at me and he's like, what? And like that. And he's like, you're so pretty. Like that. He mouths it to me. And I was like, God. So then I start laughing because I'm like, okay, he's doing this on purpose.
Yes.
But it was the most awkward, weirdest thing that has happened to me in years. And I'm like, what is happening here?
You're like, I am a mother.
I'm like, don't you know I am a grandmother?
No, I could be someone's grandmother. I could be your mother.
I could. Definitely could have been his mother. So I was like, maybe he was doing a dare. You know, maybe he was doing a TikTok. You know, who knows? But it did make me laugh regardless of whether or not he was making fun of me or not.
He wasn't making fun.
I don't know.
Shut up.
But I was busting up laughing because it was just the most hilarious thing that's happened to me in a really long time.
I don't know how to behave.
I did not know how to act. I felt so weird. Like I could not get out of there fast enough. I'm like, this light better fucking change.
You're like, thank you. Thank you so much.
So once I turned and I was out of his line of sight, then I was laughing. I was chuckling. I'm like, whoever's son that is adorable.
So cute.
I'm like, whoever.
You're so pretty.
It was cute.
I love it.
Yeah.
The heart emoji.
The little heart thing is what got me. He's all,
what?
With this coy little look on his face.
Are you sure he was young?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, he wasn't like a baby young.
Yeah.
But he was a younger guy. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was weird.
I wish mine was that good.
Nothing like that has happened to me in a very long time. The only other thrill I get is the guy at the grocery store who flirts with me, and he's literally 26.
I have not.
When he told me how old he was the other day, I almost died.
You're like,
I thought he was at least 30. And when he told me, I was like, oh my God.
inappropriate! Yeah. I can't remember the last time a guy
gave you a look
No.
or made you feel kind of
Nope.
like, yeah.
No.
Well, that was the first time, which is why it was my awkward moment.
Yeah. The only thing
I'll remember that for years.
No, you know what? No, Daryl makes things that are there that aren't there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like we went
Same.
on Christmas Eve. We go to Bottega, which is a little restaurant in Yountville.
You took me.
And yes, and so we went. We go there for dinner. It's something we've been doing for like 6 years, and so we were there. And the gentleman who was once our server is now the house manager, and he looks like Tyrese.
Oh,
No lie.
so cute.
Every time I'm like, he could be Tyrese. And one year he was our server and he had this beautiful watch on. And I said, that watch is really stunning. That's a beautiful watch. Now, I promise you, I don't flirt. I don't know how. I don't know how. I literally don't. My move when I was single was to do extended eye contact. That was it. I never said a word.
She's a one-trick pony.
That's it. That was my flirting move. That was it. And it always worked. But I mean, that was it. And so when I'm speaking, I'm just like, woo-hoo-hoo.
You're just literally speaking.
Yes. And so ever since then, he remembers us. Every year we come in. And Daryl goes, oh, I wonder if that's our server. I go, yeah. I go, the last 2 times we've been here, he was the house manager. And every time he sees us, he comes over.
Makes a point.
He says hello. He usually gives us a little comp cocktail.
Nice.
And we've never, like, nothing. He's just very nice.
That's called good service.
Right. And so we're sitting there. He does a double take. And
it's that couple.
Yeah, and he came over. He shook my hand. And he did not shake Daryl's hand.
Oh.
And he brought us over a glass of port. And for our post dessert, he's like, oh, man. He goes, how long have you been here? I'm like, oh, we're literally getting coffee now. He's like, oh, I can't believe I missed you guys. He's like, hold on. And he runs and he gets us a comp glass of port.
Oh, okay, nice.
And so I'm like, oh, cheers, thank you very much. And he's like, how are you? Wonderful. You know, and I always look because I always look to see if it's him because of the watch.
The watch.
He wasn't wearing it. And so I'm like, I don't know if that's him or not. And so anyway, Daryl's like, he totally likes you. And I'm like, I don't think so. I think he's just really good at his job, personally. She goes, he only shook your hand and he only remembers you. And I'm like, no, stop it.
It's probably true, but who cares?
I just don't get flirted with like that. I just don't.
I just don't.
I mean, I think
I'm
you
old now.
No. it's left for the young women to have that lovely display.
I know, I hate to say this because it sounds so ancient and decrepit. But honestly, there are certain younger men that not the 18-year-olds.
No,
right?
No.
But when you become of a certain age, even though you're still young,
they have mom issues.
They have mom issues, or they just start to appreciate certain qualities in a mature woman.
Yeah, it's confidence. They appreciate
confidence, right? And so,
yes.
even though they're not going to be like, "Hey, you want to go out?" Like,
they just like.
But they like that,
yes.
and there's nothing wrong with observing or having what's the word I'm thinking? Appreciation. For somebody who does have that trait. And that's one of the things that pisses me off the most about men who are insecure. And I'm not talking about Daryl.
I know.
But when men are insecure and you get that kind of attention, it's not like they want to fuck you.
No.
But
it's territorial.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
dumb.
stop it. I'm like, God. I'm like, do you ever appreciate another woman and you're not trying to sleep with her?
Yeah, just for the sake of going, she's attractive.
Yeah. And if you say no, then fuck you, you're a pig.
You're lying.
Because that means you want to screw everything that ever goes your way. And that's wrong. But for me, I can actually appreciate other creatures, other humans, other males, and things about them that I may find attractive, even if I find it attractive. Oh my God, I said it.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not dead just because I'm married. And there are other attractive human beings on this planet.
I think so.
Many.
A lot. Anyway, all right. This has nothing to do with my awkward moment, by the way.
Oh, I thought that was your awkward moment.
No. We went to Smart and Final, the total opposite of a romantic dinner in Napa. We went to Smart and Final because I needed some stuff for Christmas dinner.
Right.
And so we blow in.
They sell things in bulk there.
Well, and just every grocery stores didn't have any of the shit that I needed. I'm like, where is all the food?
Smart and Final has like weird
they have
things.
So many party size like chips and stuff, and like my grocery store was out of Ruffles of all things.
Oh my God,
I have to have Ruffles.
We were out of everything.
So I went to Smart and Final. They had a shit ton of Ruffles, and so I'm like, thank God. And so we're buying all of our stuff, and it's raining and it's cold. We just gotten back from the Goodwill, and so it was like, let's just get out of here. So
it's over with.
So there's an entrance and an exit. So we're at the checkout, and we're like, all right, let's get out of here. So I'm like, and I'm standing there, and the door's not opening, and I'm just standing there. And I'm literally standing there, and I can hear it going, and I'm like, oh no, it's broken. What's going on? And I'm like kind of hopping up and down a little bit. And I look up, and Daryl, who is blindly following me because I never make a mistake, he's just standing with all the groceries going, what are we doing? And I look up, I go, well, this is the entrance. We're not doing anything. And so I had to walk around.
I have done that.
And I had to walk around all the way down to the other end of the store where the exit.
You know why they do that now? They never used to do that. Entrances and exits were multi. You could either come in or go out.
Yeah.
But now, specifically in California, because we have these dash robbers.
Oh, the crashing.
They just walk in, they fill up the whole cart, and they walk out.
Yeah.
They want to make it hard for you
to wander in and out.
To just be able to come in and out of one door. So you have to go all the way and walk by everyone with your free groceries to steal.
It was absolutely hilarious. And there's cameras like everywhere on you. And I'm just like, ooh.
That's why, yeah.
I laughed the whole way home. I'm like, oh my God, this is so dumb.
Yeah.
I go, is it dumb that you were standing there with me? Or is it just because you just so believe that I was not going to screw this up?
Well,
that it was so funny.
We're
I'm
like packs.
Well, it's funny as I look at it, enter. I'm like, oh, this is not the exit. Like an idiot. And I'm like, you could, I don't know, dumb it down for people like me, I
guess. The big, ginormous red sign that says enter
only
right in front of your face is not enough.
It is not
I need
enough.
A siren and lights.
I need a friend. I need an assistant to say, excuse me, ma'am. In fact, I know. I'll just hire someone to do all of this for me, and I'll just stay at my house.
And my girlfriend said that the other day. I go, I have to go to the grocery store. She's like, dude, Instacart.
I know.
She's like, what are you doing?
Everybody says that. I'm like, you know why? Because I don't want anyone else touching my vegetables.
I know.
Even though I know it's been touched.
You just go produce free when you do stuff like that. But you know what? You're right. It's
so dumb.
I've done it, and they fuck it up. It's like going through the drive-thru and not checking the bag before you pull away.
It's true.
You just never know. You're like, what did I get?
I don't even care. Everything tastes the same. Whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's our first show of 2022.
Yay.
Thank you for coming back with us. And,
it out.
Yeah. And then we're going to continue on with our lives, and we'll be back with a new episode next week.
Yes.
All right. Bye.